What we have here is now 14.3.5. So this just rolled out in the last 24 hours for the basically hardware for cars, and that's on Model Y and Model 3. As you guys know, I have a Model Y Performance, and just having a look at the new interface, I'm just really surprised at the new models that they've used, because I've actually never seen that car look so glossy before. I'm guessing that, it's part of the updates or whatever. But what else do we have? So just looking at here, that's just now you've got self-driving stats. So for those who don't have V14 yet, you can see your FSD stats and everything. I'm sure that's going to cause weird driving behaviors and people trying to go for streaks and everything like that, but I tend to be not like that, but that's one of the things. Obviously there's a few interface things here and there, but mostly for our Australian folks, this is an upgrade for the long overdue FSD v14. So we'll take it for a drive and we'll head off. Okay, so I've got my route all planned in and everything like that. I've set it up for a bit of a loop around my area, and we'll head off. So probably one of the things that you'll notice if you're used to V14 is that this start self-driving used to be around here. Now start self-driving, it's now optional to turn on the tap to drive. You still can do that, but I've always turned it off and everything. But now start self-drive is actually much closer here, so we'll go. Also, one of the things that you noticed, I haven't turned on self-drive, so this is the first time I've done it. The default speed profile, now I think I mentioned it in the last video, and we never got speed profiles in V13 in Australia. In America, I believe you did, and also if you were in Europe and you had V13, speed profiles were added in. But when you turn on self-drive, it looks as though it defaults to sloth. So what we'll do is that you got sloth, chill, standard, hurry, but no Mad Max mode. So we might just put it on standard for now and see how it goes. This is a 50 zone. Normally it travels through at around about 30-40k through there, but it's a 50 zone. I did see earlier reports of V14 actually driving above the speed limit. Funny enough, V13, I did get a speeding ticket while using it while I was in the city. So it'll be interesting to see how V14 works. Now, it's still reading this street as 50k. This is actually a 70 zone, so it must have picked up the speed zone. I'm just actually accelerated there. Here is actually a good test. I might actually move it to hurry and see what it does, but I'll put it on hurry and see how it treats this right-hand turn. It's actually taking it like a normal, like a Sydney person who knows how to drive. So that's pretty interesting. Now there is a car in front of us. Lane changes feel much faster now. I didn't even trigger it, because before normally I'd be up at that hill doing the exact same thing, and changing lanes there in V13 took a while. So this is actually a welcome change, that it feels less hesitant. Now, I'm noticing that on hurry mode, I'm actually pretty happy about that. A lot of people aren't. But a lot of people actually do kind of go a little bit faster on Sydney roads, because the speedo actually reads usually around about 3 to 5k less, depending on your tire configuration and everything.
Meters, turn left onto Victoria Road.
So yeah, so here's another test here. There's usually a car parked there, and on V13 it would actually try to go into that lane, but it looks as though that with V14 it didn't actually push it, which is great. The other thing, so we'll retest that again in the morning, but just going for a quick night drive, I just wanted to see how V14, it's just basically freshly installed. I believe this is now running 26/2010, so there we are. It's actually following the speed limit. That's amazing. Okay, so now we're going into a 60 zone, and it's going back into the left lane because we're getting closer to destination. Now, that said, I might edit the trip and get rid of the next stop, and let's see how it reroutes. Wow, that was pretty quick. So now it's actually rerouting. It's actually telling us the destination where we're going to, which is really handy. And we'll see. I also think it's been a while since I recorded one of these videos, and since then I have actually implemented one of the enhanced auto sexy dashes that interfaces with my iPhone at the moment, so it does the Apple CarPlay stuff, and I'm actually using Waze, which is really handy, especially when I'm heading into the city for work. This here doesn't really give great data. I'm not too sure now with the updates, but a lot of the information that would be shown, such as like traffic data and everything, you need to be subscribed to premium connectivity, which I currently have at the moment, and I'll probably get rid of that before it renews. But with Waze, since it's working off my phone and Apple CarPlay, it doesn't cost me anything extra. It probably just costs me a bit more data, but I've got a lot of data as part of my mobile phone plan. Yeah, it's been great having that head-up feeling display. Now, that said, taking off at the lights, that's how I would normally take off at the lights. So I guess hurry mode is, I fall into the demographic that likes the hurry mode. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, but I'm actually pretty happy at how hurry mode goes. At the moment, I've only used it now for less than a few Ks. So we'll see. We will see. Also, it's still keeping a good distance between the cars. Because with V13, and I'll be referencing V13, and I have been driving it since I bought the car new. So I've, at this point, probably this car's done around about 5,000 kilometers all up, and anyone who's ridden with me will know that I use FSD quite a fair bit on this car. So I'd even say that maybe most of those Ks would be on FSD. I hazard to say maybe at least 70%.
In 300 meters,
maybe
turn right
80,
towards
we'll see.
A3.
So yeah. Anyway, a brand new day, we're using V14. So, and the good thing is that it does keep really good metrics around usage on FSD. So we can keep track of that.
Now turn right towards
now
A3.
lane changes. I'm really surprised with lane changes. Now, the last time I haven't really touched the accelerator was probably when I first drove FSD from the first video I did on Tesla FSD. But experiencing it here now with V14. So I'm trying to stop myself from referring from the previous V13 FSD software. Yeah, so as I was saying, V14, the lane changes are much quicker and feel way better. Now, some people like that slow lane changes and everything, but I've always found it really a bit too slow. So on the hurry profile, I'm really happy with how the car is driving. Also, the turns have also been great, because there have been a couple of times where on the older software I've been beat that because it would take corners a bit too slowly. So I've currently got the car directed to DFO in Homebush. Now, my intent here is to remove that destination as well and head on over to Sydney Olympic Park. Now, normally I would just put it straight into Sydney Olympic Park and then go a different way, but like I wanted to do for this video, I just wanted to see how it handles multiple routes. This is a nice route too because it's night traffic and everything, it's flowing, and for a video you can see that we're moving pretty decently. We're not getting stuck in lights for too long. So hopefully this video is going to be interesting for you, and I'll try and make sure that I upload this video in a very timely manner. So what that means is that I will try to put this video up before I go to bed. So one interesting thing about hurry is that it actually keeps the Sydney driver distance between cars. Now, a lot of you, well, I probably didn't mention this in the last video too, is that I was finding V13 even in the city was keeping around about maybe 2 or 3 car lengths between cars. Now, if you can see the car in front of me versus distance as he was keeping behind that BMW was pretty much half a car length, which to me is pretty close. But the distance right now, I'd say that's roughly around about 1.5. That's a good safe distance, because that gives you enough time to brake and everything, good reactions and whatnot. But a lot of Sydney drivers drive much closer and much more aggressive than that, especially the guy in front of us. But we can see here that it is
Now they'll have to stay on Homebush Bay Drive.
really driving in a manner that's a good thing for Sydney. So I am definitely impressed. It'll be interesting to see in a few weeks' time when I head up to Brisbane. I'll do a video on that, how it treats the drive from Sydney to Brisbane. A few people have done it, so it's not going to be an unknown. But also at the same time, how the personality of the self-drive goes when you go to a different city and everything. Does it actually change itself to suit the town that you're in and everything? So it does tell you to pay attention to the road still, but before it would be blaring and throwing up heaps of warnings because I'm mucking around with the screen. So I might delete Homebush. There we go. Oh, no, cancel. Guess we still, I didn't want to
In 300 meters,
delete.
take the Underwood Road exit on the left.
There we go. Okay. We're still going the same way, but we're heading to a random destination in Sydney Olympic Park. I feel like in the stadium section of Sydney Olympic Park. Now, here, taking off the off-ramp, really good. We're heading into one of the worst roundabouts in Sydney.
Now enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
During the day, this roundabout is pretty busy because you got a lot of the DFO traffic to your left and people coming from Sydney Olympic Park to your right. At the moment, that was pretty clean and everything like that, so I'm pretty impressed. Also, throughout my use of V13, I was really hesitant of roundabouts, and you probably saw that in my first video. I don't think I'll probably test too many roundabouts and everything. Maybe on the weekend sometime I might take the same route as I did and see how it handles those roundabouts down in Gladesville. But for now, you know, it's done a quick drive. It's done it really cleanly. I haven't had to interrupt it with my accelerator pedal, which is really good, because on V13, the more I used it, the more I noticed that I was actually giving it lots of nudges with the accelerator pedal, and that got a little bit annoying after the time, but after a while you got used to it. But really, that wasn't really what I was expecting, because it was actually slower than what it was. This road here, it's a single lane road, so I guess we can try out the mode selector on the steering wheel. So in order to change the driving profile, you can put it back to sloth or whatever using the scroll wheel on the right. So sloth mode, you can see that it actually increased the distance, whereas when we put it back onto hurry, I can actually feel the car accelerating, and will probably close the gap between my car and also the car in front of me. But yeah, I'm just really impressed. So that felt really effortless. Like, while I was talking, that felt like I was a really huge distance between the car and also myself on sloth, and then when I quickly moved it over to hurry, that actually really closed the gap effortlessly, and you know, it didn't feel like it was harshly accelerating and everything like that. Alright, still making our way down through Sydney Olympic Park. Yes, it is taking corners like a normal driver, which is great. A lot of feedback from V13 was that the driver felt like it was a brand new driver, even with our locked-in profile, which I still think is slow or sloth mode. A lot of people disagree there. That driver felt really hesitant, and it just felt like it was a brand new driver, still learning the ropes and everything. Whereas my quick experience here of around about 13.4 kilometers, I am much happier with how this is reacting to the roads. So I'm really interested to see
enter the roundabout and take the first exit.
How this goes in peak hour traffic tomorrow morning. Will I be interrupting it a lot more with
Now
my
enter the
accelerator
roundabout
pedal,
and take
in
the
the
first
sense where I'll
exit.
need to nudge it and everything? We'll find out tomorrow. So here's another roundabout, another small one, but we're just going straight, so that's fine. Oh, okay. That's the other thing I noticed, was that roundabouts. Roundabouts. Normally, it was doing the Queenslander style roundabouts. Well, if you've taken the recent driving test, they say that when you enter a roundabout, if you're going straight, you don't have to indicate, but if you're going left or right, you have to indicate accordingly. But when you're exiting, you actually have to indicate out. So a lot of the time when you're exiting the loop, it would it would be basically, where's it taking us? I wonder if it's going to try to find parking. It would basically take the roundabout, and then on exit,
now bear left to stay on Hill Road.
go left. Sorry, I was trying to pay attention at what I was saying and also turn left. So I actually told it to go into Sydney Olympic Park. It's saying that there's parking over there. Obviously, that's a no left turn. So I guess we're going to the next destination, or it's trying to find a car park. I'm not too sure, but we're on an adventure. We'll find out.
Now your destination is on the left.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, we're going. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? No, we're gonna do a loop. Okay, we'll do a loop. We'll find out. Okay, so I actually told it to do a loop. All right, let's find out.
In 300 meters, turn left onto Avenue Ovation.
So one of the things here in Sydney or New South Wales, you're not actually allowed to do a U-turn to go back. Now there's,
Now turn left onto
unless it's
Avenue
signed to
Ovation.
do a U-turn. Now there's a few streets around Sydney where you can, but most of the roads you're not allowed to. So that's why it's
In
kind of
200
doing
meters,
this
turn right onto
loop.
Avenue of Africa.
I am I am so impressed with how it takes corners. This is amazing. Like, some people won't
Now turn right onto Avenue of
find it
Africa.
comfortable. But for me, I'm actually really happy with that. That's probably something that I wanted before, because it doesn't feel like it's hesitating in actually taking a turn. So, and that's fine.
Now turn right onto Hoker Street.
Okay, we're heading back to where we were. Okay. So I think where it's trying to go to, there's no actual parking over there. So I feel like what it's going to do is see it there and try to find a way around. But you can't actually go there. So what I'm going to do is that I might actually not give it a headache or give myself an aneurysm and get rid of that. So we'll just go straight to Aldi, and at
In
least that
300
way there's
meters, turn right onto
a
Hill Road.
parking spot there. Oh, actually, Bunnings.
In 300 meters, turn right onto Avenue of Oceania.
And that's actually a good test. So what we'll do is that we'll make it head down to Aldi in Rydalmere. Interestingly, I'm not too sure if there's actually a car park. I don't. Well, there is a car park. A bit silly there. It is an Aldi, but I'm not too sure if it's. Oh, hello. Oh, there's a bit of hesitation there. So that's a fail. Didn't know how to take that turn. That's critical. Oh, yes, reporting issues. So reporting issues there, instead of actually talking, it gives you 4 options. I'm not too sure other, I didn't press other, but there was like navigation, blah, 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 blah. There was actually critical, so I whacked that. But I think the 4th box was other, and you could probably still talk into it and stuff, so that's okay. Anyway.
Now enter the roundabout and take the second exit.
I think they had probably got confused around the bright lights. Oh, there we go. Now it's doing the actual roundabout exit. Oh, that's a bit fast. Okay, so I don't think it actually saw the speed bump and didn't slow down. So that's okay. Oh, there we go. So those speed bumps there, it doesn't actually recognize as a speed bump. So that's okay. That's all right. That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. All right, what are you going to do here?
Now turn right onto Avenue of Asia.
So funny enough, this actually where we did the loop here. V13 was also doing this. It should have turned left, but it's going now right. And going out as opposed to the lights, which is okay, but a normal person would have turned left and headed through the lights as opposed to going through here. But you know, it is what it is, and I'm not FSD AI, so that's okay. Alright, so there's a car coming up behind me. That's actually respectable in the acceleration. It is a 60 zone. Yeah, it's going 50. It's thinking it's 50, so that's okay. The sign here says 60, so it is adhering to the traffic. Sorry, the signage. The other thing that I was hoping that V14 was going to solve, and it sounds like it isn't, is the fact that when I go on basically out of Sydney into the 110k freeway zones or highways where it's 110 signed, it doesn't seem to be following that. So I'd be interested to see if the updates that they've done, and because there was a earlier release to a smaller subset of Teslas, and they paused that for a few weeks because there's a few issues there, whereas some users were reporting excessive overtaking and everything. But it'd be interesting to see if this version actually adheres to the 110k zones. Now, it's a little bit late at the moment for me to actually drive out into that to try it out, because what's the time now? It's like 9:35 and I've got work in the morning. So maybe that's something I can try on the weekend. But for now, I'm really impressed. I think my impressed level, and I'm comparing it to my really long, well, I would say long, my experience of a few weeks on V13 in comparison to that. It's doing a few things better. There was that weird right turn there where there's no cars and it just freaked out. Compared to V13 at the moment, in this type of mixed traffic and everything like that at night, I'm going to give it maybe an 8. So that's pretty good. But it's lost a few points obviously from that turn, and also trying to figure out that there was no parking there, and I probably should have just gave up, but I think that it would probably just looped itself and everything. That was pretty cool. So it was going at 80k. Well, it was speeding up to 80k, saw the lights were turning yellow, and it actually slowed down. So well done. Now I'm interested to see if it'll do a takeoff, but there is a motorbike next to us, so I'm not expecting it to. So Mr. Motorbike Guy, take off, thank you. Wow, that just picked up. On V13, definitely it took off like a sloth. This one here on hurry mode would be how I would have took off. I didn't even touch the accelerator because I was expecting it to accelerate a fair bit, and I'm actually touching the accelerator now because it is a 70 zone and the car just decided to slow down. So the weird thing is that
in 300 meters, keep left to take Victoria Road.
That's where it also lost points, and this was actually also reported, was that since you can't really set the max speed, but the scroll wheel actually now adjusts your profile. If you get stuck in a section where it hasn't read a sign properly, or just completely missed a sign, you're stuck at that incorrect speed. So for example, there, for some reason it thought that section was 60k an hour, and it's a 70 to 80k zone. I'm not too sure where it read 60, but it just did, but that's okay. But in normal traffic, you would have a lot of upset drivers around that, and in that instance I would have actually taken over and driven until it was able to read the sign correctly. Now I'm just going to turn her down. Oh, she's slowing down, so that's okay. There is a speed camera here, and I don't want to get a speed ticket. So speed camera there, it's actually slowed down to 66, so that's pretty good. But I did move it down to standard. I've moved that up to hurry.
Now turn left onto Park Road.
And we'll see if it actually goes into the parking lot. I actually might stop her and see what happens here. So we're going into Aldi. Obviously there's no one here because it is 9:40. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna park? No, she can't because it's closed. So I'm just taking over and just doing a U-turn. Okay. Aldi is shut right now. So we'll need to just get out. And just mark that as parking. There we go. All right, let's go. Oh wow, okay, I've put Bunnish Ashfield, so I might change that. Delete, and Bunnings right on me. There we go. All right.
Now turn right onto Park Road.
No, you can't turn right here. So I'm not going to drive because it's going to try to drive forward. Okay.
In 200 meters, enter the roundabout and take the 4th exit.
Oh, this is a good test. No, because... No, I'm not going to test out this roundabout because this roundabout on my old Tesla actually scratched up my rims. Okay, yeah. So this roundabout here has roughly around about a 2-inch, well, let's say an inch to a 2-inch lip. And if you get too close to it, it actually scratches your rims. And since I've got 21-inch Arachnid 2.0s, I don't want to scratch them. So anyway,
in 200 meters, turn left onto Victoria Road.
I'm happy to test that, but also at the same time, not really. No. Just because I don't want to be damaging the car, all for a YouTube video. Hey, look, if I was able to hypothetically score a free Tesla every time I did, like, let's say 5 to 10 videos, then sure, why not? I'm not like a high-end, high-volume YouTuber at this point. I only have like what people clicking onto this channel. So, oh, cool, FSD. But yeah, it's not that much. So, you know, it's actually going to cost me more, especially in a cost of living crisis, all because, you know, I was testing out the FSD and I scratched my rims for a video. So yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy, as they say. Alright, so we're heading into Bunnings.
Now turn right to stay on Victoria Road.
For our American viewers, if you are out there, it's not as big as a Walmart or a Home Depot or anything like that, but Bunnings is pretty much one of our bigger chain, what was it? Yeah, chain box stores, as you would call it, where you can get your tools, home improvement stuff or whatnot. But it's not too bad. It is very similar to Home Depot from memory. Even to the point where it's like the aisles are set up in a very similar manner. Alright, so here's another speed bump. Okay. Got over it. Nice. Didn't want to launch the car over it, which is good. Okay, so we will see if it finds
destination is on the right.
Parking. Where are you finding parking? I do admit I do enjoy that now. It is actually finding parking, not where I would normally park, but that's okay. And parking the car. So there we go. Park the car, destination to destination. Well, after 3 destinations. Let's try one more destination. I'm thinking no, not there. Not Grandma's, it was Daisy's. So this place here is a cafe that's not too far.
Right onto
so
Victoria Road.
That's roughly the route I would pick. So, oh, actually, there we go. We'll pick that route and we'll see. So, off we go. Let's see if we can navigate out of the park. Okay, so I do need to give it a bit of a nudge. There we go. Oh, because I think there was some resistance there due to the divot, and that's fine. Alright, where are we going? Okay. So it found
Now
itself
turn right to stay on Victoria Road.
driving out of the car park, which is cool. Cool.
Now turn left to stay on Victoria Road.
There was a bit of hesitancy there, but you know, I'm okay. I'll let her have that. I think because of the acceleration profile she's doing, which is still in a hurry, I think I'll let her off, but I would have expected that to be a bit smoother because the light was green when we were turning right, and as soon as we approached it, probably like 3 car lengths, it's started to accelerate, then just hit the anchors, not too badly, and it was a little bit rough, but that's okay. Look, there's a couple of issues where it's been rough on stop like that. But I'm just gonna blame it on the profile. Alright, so the light's about to turn green. Let's see how it takes it to the left. Alright, so there's roadworks on the left there. Oof. So is it
in 200 meters, turn left onto Park Road.
So it didn't recognize that as a construction zone. Is it going to take the most left-hand
turn left onto Park Road
lane here? Yes, it did. Okay, that's fine.
Now enter the roundabout.
Okay,
and take
this
the
is
second
interesting.
exit.
There's a person crossing the road on the left. Okay, now you're doing the exit, the signal on exit of the roundabout. Okay, so I take that back from my earlier point. It's still doing it, which is fine. It's part of the road rules, but I'd say 9.5 people out of 10, which is 95%, don't really do that. There's a few people, or people who are driving on FSD who actually signal like that. So yeah, so that's still an issue that was on v13, but it is legal, so you shouldn't really dock it on that. Okay, so it takes off from the lights really nicely. I haven't nudged it or anything like that, which is good. To be honest, I think at this point, even with the interruption, a couple of interruptions or whatnot, from a nudging perspective, I haven't actually had to nudge it as much as I did compared to the previous version, which is great. So it feels like it's a bit more of a self-drive. Hurry definitely does have a fair bit of aggression. It feels like it's a completely different personality, and you know,
now turn right onto Kissing Point Road.
It would be similar to how I would drive if I need to get somewhere, but for Sydney traffic, it seems to be appropriate. That said, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should work my way up to Hurry, but that didn't happen. I just flicked it onto Hurry, and just went full send. That's okay. Few more stoplights. I'm actually really impressed on how it's taking the corners and everything. I am really looking forward to taking this to work tomorrow, just to see how it reacts, especially in traffic and everything like that. And like I was saying earlier, it'd be interesting just to see how many times I'd have to give it a nudge just to close the gap, or if I do at all. Also, it'd be good to see how it reacts when it starts getting it into the city. Sorry, I wasn't too sure if I was hiccuping or burping there. When I get into the city and see whether or not it's just going to have issues around town, because there have been a couple of times where I actually thought that it would be better for me to drive as opposed to letting FSD take control, because it was really struggling to navigate in that situation. And yeah, it was a little bit scary, but due to the way how unconfident it feels. But at the moment, how it's driving, and if it has that confidence tomorrow, maybe I will be happy to just let it drive. But normally when I'm in the middle of the CBD, I just normally take it over, because there's just too many cars and variables, and that's when I really want to be in control, because FSD, I don't really have the confidence that it's going to navigate that to the ability where I'm comfortable. Okay, so it's changed lanes where it didn't need to, but I guess it's not really properly mapped here, because this lane actually yeah, it closes off, but that's okay.
Now turn left onto Quarry Road.
Probably not mapped the way it would be, but that's okay. Just that new driver wasn't too happy with me, but that's okay. I did take that corner much faster. Oh well, at the same speed I would have if I was driving anyway, so that's okay. So this bit here is going to be interesting, because the way we are going,
now enter the roundabout,
there's a small roundabout here, so it'll be interesting to see how it navigates that. And also,
in 200 meters, turn right onto Yates Avenue.
That was the other thing, was that how it navigates this really tight two-way road that's single lane on each side, but one side people do park on that side, because there's no parking on the other side due to park here in Dundas Valley. Okay, here we go. So last time I drove, well, not last time I drove, there was one time I drove here where there was cars here, and there was a truck driver who decided that, yes, my lane should be the side where he should be. So that's fine. Just
now your
have a
destination
head
is on the right.
with me, so that's okay. What's it gonna do? Here we go. Parking straight. That's okay. Alright, so a couple of things there. They do give you a few options in parking when you get to a destination, but in this destination here, there is a sign that says rear to curb, and there's no options to park either front ways or back ways. I didn't really call it out when we were at the Bunnings and parked in the car spot there, but with this, because it just reversed in, where, you know, I thought that it would just drive straight in, but yeah, whereas here it's clearly signed as rear to curb. So if you're going to park here in the Tesla and you left your car here, there's a good chance that you would get a parking ticket due to that. But, you know, it's probably something that you should probably park yourself. I'm not too sure, depending on your competency or whatnot. But without that sign, it actually pulled into the spot nice and clear. So I guess if I just maybe look at the camera, they've changed the drawer icon. So we're a little bit close on this side, but sorry, on the driver's side, on my side to the line, but there's a fair bit of space on the left. But our car park spaces here are pretty small, so I guess you know, as long as you're between the lines, it's okay. So yeah, look, like I said, V14, quick, dirty drive around the area. I'd probably say that was roughly around about maybe 20 Ks. Pretty impressed with it, especially the speed profiles, which is something that I've really wanted because slow mode was not great. But there was a couple of spots where I think it just freaked out. But other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time when I actually drive my car to work tomorrow. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see how V14 handles that. Alright, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.
Now turn left onto Alexander Street.
Go here. Bit of a nudge. There's no cars. That's a bit excessive. That's legal, but excessive.
In 200 meters, turn left onto King Street. Now turn left onto King Street. In 200 meters, enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
Hello.
Now enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
Oh, that's smooth. Wow.
Your destination will be on the left. Now your destination is on the left.